Hello Groveland. Today's video is being done in early October 2013, and today's information is really good news for the community. For those of you who may have heard some of the previous stories, or even as late as September's citizen stories about the property that the township owns at Grange Hall and I-75, we have recently agreed to sell 41.8 acres of that property to Barry Bass, Bedrock Express. So with me today here is our guest, is Barry Bass from Bedrock, and thank you for joining us,
You're
Barry.
welcome.
Okay, what I thought we'd do today is give you a little bit of idea about what the project is going to be, and for that purpose we've got a preliminary site plan here that hopefully you'll be able to see in the video, but just to give you some orientation where the project's going to take place is, over by Barry would be Dixie Highway, Shields Road comes in, and their consumer power property is here. Behind that is the Tri-City Aggregate, and the 41.8 acres that Barry is buying is right here on this drawing here. And Barry's going to be developing what we think is something that's really been needed here in the north end of Oakland County, and that's a first-class recycling facility for building materials. So with that, Barry, I wonder if you could take a moment and kind of tell them what's going to be at this facility and what your plans are and how you got the idea to get in here.
Okay, Bill. Our recycling facility we should be breaking ground in November this year. Start working on layout of everything.
The site preparation?
The site preparation. Putting in our roads and the bases and everything. And probably in March or April, when the ground thaws, we'll be breaking ground on our couple 10,000 plus square foot buildings for the recycling.
That would be these two buildings here, and they're actually going to take the material that's brought in on the trucks from demolition of buildings, right, and do the sorting and separation and stuff.
Yeah, we'll have a sorting center there. We'll have sorting inside and outside of the building. We'll have two accesses off Dixie Highway, one off Shields Road. That won't be until probably beginning of summer. That'll be right next to the new consumers facility, and you'll still be able to use the one you've been using right now at the Groveland I-75.
The Hall Road that's into the pit.
Yeah, the I-75.
Kind of comes around the back here.
Right, and we have scales there for the trucks already. When we open up full time in the recycling center, we will be putting scales back there too in the back. Besides I-75 aggregates.
Basically, when people have a building demolished and they contract with you to get rid of the material so it can be recycled, I assume you must charge them then by the pound or something, which is why you need the scales.
Yes, there'll be a tipping fee for incoming demolition or whatever comes in for recycling.
How much of this material actually gets recycled when you run it through there?
We figure between, at low, 90%, and on a good day 96-97%, but an average of 95% stays out of the landfill. And that's what our goal is. Really,
and I know you had made comment that you had years ago thought about there's a lot of wasted money and material being sent through facilities that could be recycled, and this is going to process approximately 95% of the material to be reused. Things like shingles, I guess, go to asphalt plants to make paving material. Concrete gets crushed into wrap like they use to fix the roads.
Right.
Bricks can be recycled, and then steel can go to a scrap iron yard.
And the wood gets ground up, and we ship it to consumers. It goes to mulch, and it goes to the power plants.
For power generation?
Yeah, they make steam out of it and create power out of it.
Okay, so then that remaining 5% or so will get sent off to a landfill somewhere.
Right. Even drywall gets recycled. There's probably 30 different things you can pull out of it.
I noticed when we look at this that also over here your preliminary site plan has a whole row of bends, and I know one of the questions that's come into the township over the last several years is, for those of you who don't know it already, Bedrock really provides the dumpster service that all of us use when we're busy cleaning out the garage or the barn in the spring, or we're doing some kind of home remodeling project and you got to get rid of the stuff from the bathroom you just redid. Barry provides those dumpsters up by the scale house, and many of our residents come in and use the pass permits for that dumpster service, and residents have asked me over the years, you know, we really like this, what are you going to do when the gravel pit's gone? And my answer's always been, that's a great question, because we haven't figured that out yet. Well, we have now, because of frankly Barry's civic-minded spirit, and he's been so good to work with on the township. he's going to move that dumpster service that's now on the Hall Road in the gravel pits down over to this recycling center here. And I notice you have a lot more bins here, so do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we'll have, there's other things you'll be able to bring, so you don't have to feel guilty about throwing it in the garbage anymore either. You'll be able to bring the plastics, cardboard, any of that kind of stuff if you don't want to wait the 2 weeks for the
recycle pickup?
Yeah, recycle pickup there in that little container or whatever. You'll be able to get it out of your garage or your house. And we're going to offer a shredding service for no charge to the township residents too, for paper shredding or document shredding.
That's going to be very popular. I know when I went down to the Sacra facility and
that we visited
in West Bloomfield, I mean in Troy.
Yep.
They have a paper shredder there, and that's really nice. You know, with all the attempts that people make to get your garbage and try and find your social security number or personal information to screw up your credit, those shredding services are nice because a commercial shredder does an excellent job of destroying the paper trail for you.
Right, and these services will probably be still available 6 days a week as the pit is open and the recycling center is open.
Okay. Well, I know we're looking forward to this. We've had a very positive relationship. For those of you who don't know, Barry and Bedrock, and the sign at the pit actually says I-75 Aggregates, that's one of his companies, has been mining the township's property now for a little over 12 years, and it has frankly been the best working relationship the community's ever had. Barry has been an outstanding corporate citizen here for us and doing a lot of good things in the township. Not just that pit facility, but really, for people who don't know it, most of the property that's ours in that pit is really pretty close to being done now. When we get this done, one of the next things we'll be doing is taking down the berm that's along Grange Hall Road and getting that piece of property ready for development, because for any of you who have ever stopped in and talked to us about it, I really view the long-term viability of the township and its financial security as being heavily tied to that property. And we are committed to making sure that it gets developed the right way with good uses that will enhance the community. And I know a number of residents have asked about what can we do on recycling, and I think this in one foul swoop is going to take Groveland right to the top of the heap.
For long term too. This is not just a temporary thing. This is our own property, and we'll be there for a long time.
So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea what's going on here. This is a great project for all of us here in Groveland. And Barry, we're very appreciative of your efforts over the years and getting the gravel pit the way it is. For those of you who don't realize it, if you look in there and you wonder what's going on, there's more than one gravel pit. The township owns about 100, or did until we sold this, about 192 acres of property, with 40 of it on the south side of Grange Hall Road and 150 or so on the north side, which this is coming out of. So we still have about 110 or 12 acres, I think, left on the north side. But next to our pit is the Gibraltar facility, which Barry's also working on and will eventually be mined down to the same level as our property. And then after that is the Rock property, which is over here, because Mount Holly would be right up where my hand is right now. So we don't control the other properties, but Barry does have the mining contract with Gibraltar. Theirs is being coordinated with ours. Rock has his own reclamation plan, but eventually when you see the berms come down and start looking at the property after it's all been cleaned up, and it was pretty horrible when we got it, when Barry first started. He's done a huge job in improving the facility, that it's actually close on our piece of the property to being ready for development to start taking place.
It did look like a bomb testing area there back in 2002.
I used to say it was a piece of the moon.
The other thing I want to add too, if you want to call me or Bob for any more technical questions or that, you're welcome to give us a call.
Absolutely.
Until we get it open, that we can answer your questions.
So that's it for today, Groveland. We just thought this was good news, and if you didn't get a chance to see it in the local Citizen paper, they did a nice story on it at the board meeting when we approved it in September. We wanted to take this opportunity to get it out to as many of you as possible and let you know what's happening. So if you see some activity going on between now and next summer, you'll have a pretty good idea what we're actually doing out there. So Groveland, thank you, and have a great day, and until the next video, be safe.